What an epic win by the Padres tonight at Dodger Stadium. Homers from Kimmy and Manny and Toddy and someone else homered. Crony. I don't even know if I said him, but Jackson Merrill comes through there in the 11th inning with the 2-out 0-2 go-ahead single. Padres win in LA, overcoming a 4-run deficit to win 8-7 in Game 1. Another great comeback for the Padres this week. It is the wrap-up show. Make your way in. John and Jim with you. We'll be with you for the next hour. Padres, I mean, what a start to a series. It really was impressive. We're trying to get to 6,000 subscribers. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, we would appreciate it. Smash the like button for us. How many likes do you want tonight, Jim?
350. I want 1,000 likes, but we'll start at 350. But that's everybody that watches this show tonight. Everybody who watches this is on replay. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Yes, we are whoring ourselves out for subscribers. That's what happens on YouTube. But everybody drop a like right now. Amazing win. Just amazing win for this team. Yeah, that game was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, like, there's a couple of takeaways. First of all, Jackson Merrill's been terrific. I'll admit it. Through 16 games, he's proven everyone wrong, including myself. He's just been incredible. He's had clutch moment after clutch moment, including here tonight. But really, my game ball goes to Mike Schilt. And there's a couple of reasons as to why. First of all, he stayed out of a double play with Xander Bogaerts in a 7-4 game. It completely changed the game. They scored 3 runs after that because they started a runner. And then just look at his bullpen usage tonight. It doesn't always work out like this, but it was just spectacular. I mean, he used 6 or 7 guys to perfection against an outstanding lineup. We all know that. I mean, the Dodgers lineup is as good as any in baseball. And by and large, they kept them at bay over the final handful of innings of this game. And the Dodgers had a chance to win it in the 9th. They had a chance to win it in the 10th. I hit the tying run, obviously, in 2nd in the 11th inning. So, I think Mike Schilt deserves a ton of credit for the way he managed this game here tonight.
Everybody bitching and complaining about his bullpen usage for the first 15 games of the year, or how many games have they played?
Yeah.
I mean, tonight was every move he made worked. Is it going to work out every time? No, but tonight, looking at the box score here, I think King. We'll talk about King here later on in the show, but we have more important things to talk about first. Kolek was fantastic. Okay. Matsui, that at bat with Max Muncy, I mean, blew him away. And it was a big spot in this game, huge spot in this game. He was great. Wandy Peralta came in, pitched 1 1/3 innings. And then you had Cosgrove take out Ohtani and Freeman.
Yeah.
I mean, he is like Ohtani's kryptonite. And then De Los Santos in a big spot in extra innings with a guy who's been red hot this year in Teoscar Hernandez. And it was 1, 2, 3 strike. Now, he did have ownage on him. So you're thinking to yourself, what's the play here? Do you want to put someone and force out at every single base, or are you going to pitch to him? Made the right move, pitched to him, struck him out. And then bringing in Robert Suarez there to shut that inning down and having faith in your team that they were going to get the lead the next inning. So you had him out there for the save. Just a beautiful, beautiful game managed by Shilty. And Jackson Merrill's the hero tonight, even though a lot of things had to happen before that to get to Jackson Merrill. And we'll talk about Tatis as well. But Jackson Merrill, I don't think you have to say that he's proved you wrong, because there's nothing that you said and nothing that we've said here before the season or even, leading up to the season and in season that was like, oh, he's going to suck. No. We just had legit questions about a 20-year-old rookie starting in center field, and he's never played above AA. That's legit questions. But
yeah,
he's proven us all that he belongs. That's what he's done.
Well, he's going beyond that for me. I mean, he's had big moments. Again, it hasn't made a season, but I mean, to come through the clutch like that at Dodger Stadium, a house of horrors for the Padres, on an 0-2 pitch and rip a ball the other way. And earlier he had walked in front of a rally and he singled late in the game before he's just answered the bell. I mean, whatever the cliche is, and again, it's only 16 games, it's 10% of a season. I'm sure there'll be a slump in there at some point, hopefully not. But he's done as well as any rookie in baseball to this point in April. All right, there's a lot to get to. I want to start with this, by the way. Joseph has become a member. We're going to get to every single super chat, by the way. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph.
If you want to become a member, there are brand new emojis tonight for members, including the Swarry emoji, which means if you are a member, can I see some emojis in the chat right now? I think I did it right. You know me, I'm not exactly with the internet, but I think we have Swarry emojis for members. So if you want to become a member, you have Swarry emoji. I want to say there's a crony emoji, a bogey emoji, a shilty emoji. I'd love to see some shilty emojis right now. Become a member by clicking join down below.
There it is.
The $, and we'll get to every single super chat here tonight. Let's get the first super of the night in as the Padres again win in really epic fashion to get to 508. They win 8-7 in 11, come back from 7-3 down. This is the same week they trailed 8-0 against Atlanta. Now, who they play? Chicago, and win 9-8. Colby, thank you. He says, LFGSD, man, I'm so jazzed. Team showed heart again. And yes, John, as you saw at least 4 times tonight, defense is massively important. This is the defensive Colby. Not really. I mean, they were great defensively a year ago. They overcame any defensive inefficiency here tonight, including from Xander Bogaerts. Of course, in any one game, it can matter. You'll win a game because of defense. You'll lose a game because of defense. Over 162, it's the least concern I have about this team. And their offense has proven that to be the case. I mean, this has been one of the better offenses in baseball. End of sentence. One of the better offenses in baseball, the Padres to this point.
Which it's crazy to say that, coming into this season, thinking that it was going to be kind of a grind.
Yep.
You thought, okay, there's a lot of holes on this team. They didn't really fill these holes, and they're trusting guys with, I mean, they're putting a lot on guys' shoulders that it's risky. It's a risky play. It's a risky play to have Jurickson Profar be your starting left fielder. It's a risky play to have 20-year-old be your starting center fielder. It's a risky play to have no DH. Now Manny's your DH, but I mean, third base, right? Tyler Wade, like it's just your bench. Like a lot of the things here have been risky. Putting Cronenworth in the 3-hole, like, that's a risky play coming off of last year. And to their credit, they've all performed. I don't know what the key thing to point at is for why they have performed so well on offense and how they have been one of the better offenses in baseball. If you're just looking from a number standpoint, maybe it was that they were just completely embarrassed by last year. But the thing is, a lot of the Profar's kind of he's newish. I know he was here at the end last year, but he didn't experience the totality of all of last season. Jackson Merrill, he's a new guy. He did not experience last year. Campusano, he barely experienced last year at all. So, the guys that have done well for this team weren't here last year, really. And that's a credit to them. And then the guys that were here last year, we can talk about Bogaerts later, but Fernando Tatis Jr. is doing what you hoped he was going to be doing this season, and that is performing at the plate like an MVP. 5 home runs already, John. I mean, he's come up with some massive home runs already, and
huge.
It's just been incredible to watch so far for Tatis and for this offense. Or the early part of this season, it feels like at this point they're never out of it, which is crazy to say.
I mean, they've overcome a lot of deficits already, including 2 kind of epic comebacks this week, the 8-0 game and trailing by 4 at Dodger Stadium. I mean, give me a break. How often in Padres history have they been able to do that? And now both of these teams have played 16 games. They both lead baseball in runs scored. They've played more games than everyone else. They've both scored 88 runs. The Padres and the Dodgers have both scored 88 runs in 16 games. Do the math on it. What is that? I could use a calculator. 64. 80 is 5. It's exactly 5.5 runs per game. The Padres have averaged 5.5 runs per game to this point. Ishmael, thank you. He says, can we please play the Dodgers 162 times a year? Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
In order to play with that same intensity. I don't know if they're playing 12 or 13 times this year. I don't have it in front of me, but through 3 games, the Padres are 2-1. They either have 9 remaining games against the Dodgers or 10. It's not a fortune of games. Truthfully, they have 2 more this weekend, but clearly they have actually played the Dodgers, not just the 2-1 record. All 3 of the games, they've been extremely competitive with 2 wins in that game where Cronenworth had a ball go through his glove, literally through his glove.
Yeah, it's slow. I don't know if we want to go
I
that
don't know
far
about
tonight.
162. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
I don't know about that one. But hey, the 3 times they played the Dodgers this year, they've outplayed them in every single game except for that 7th inning in South Korea.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
that was yeah,
it was Glovegate. But
exactly.
we're just wait. Just wait on that.
It's still early.
It's
Taco Bell call 911. Thank you. He says, I think we can say Tatis is back to MVP form. This guy's not giving up. I love it. I mean, he's been to Jim's point. It's not that just that he has good numbers, and he does. You know, the 9 something, low 900 OPS, the 5 home runs, which is
3
a
hits
great
tonight.
start for 16 games. He had 3 hits tonight. Yeah, but it's not that. It's the moments. It's the down a run against Chicago. It's down 2 runs here tonight late at Dodger Stadium, hitting his 11th home run at Dodger Stadium in 29 career games. It's the moments for me that are more impactful than just the sheer numbers. It's too early to look at sheer numbers. Sure, he's on pace for 50 home runs, 5 times 10.
It's a fine.
But it goes well beyond that for me. Yeah, you want to see him hit 40 home runs. He's fully capable of doing that, but it's the moments in which he's come through this year that have been the most impactful.
Yeah, and his numbers have shown it. This was a big year for Tatis. It's just it really was because of what happened last year offensively and the contract that he has. And you're sitting there wondering to yourself, I mean, I hope Tatis gets back to that 2021 MVP form. You know, it's a question. It's not something that like I think was like the biggest question mark, right? But it's in the back of everybody's mind. It is because you're hoping, did this guy get his power zapped because of the shoulder surgery? Like, I hope not. Well, we have our answer so far. So far, we have our answer this year that he looks. I mean, it just feels like he not only looks like he's 2021 player, but he's healthy.
He's a better, and I would just say this: he's come a long way. Sometimes when you overcome real adversity in life, you are better off for it in the long run. And it just feels like he's a different player. Like the way his man, there's something about just the way he carries himself today is much different. He was much more a kid. He was a kid in 2021. He felt much younger as an individual. Some of the things he said off the field. Right now, he's a different individual, or so it appears from afar, than he was, just 2 or 3 years ago. I think everything that came with the motorcycle situation and the suspension has changed Fernando Tatis Jr. I don't know if that means he'll be better than he was, but what I'm seeing right now, I really, really like. Can we take a moment to ask people to subscribe? Okay, if you're here, subscribe. Live round replay. If you're here, smash the like button for us. If you're here and you want to make sure we get your comment, you can click the $ below the chat box. We appreciate all your super chats. If you want to become a member, get the Swarry emojis, the Shilty emojis, the crony emojis. Click the join button down below. Toddy, yeah, absolutely, tonight. HBBVPPPJJJ, thank you. He says, now I like this as a jumping off point for a moment, but he says Merrill over Soto. Think whatever you want about that. And he's from our own farm system. But I would say this, Kevin brought up a really interesting point that I hadn't fully thought about other than the fact that I've been watching it play out. They're way more aggressive and the numbers back it up. They're seeing far fewer pitches. You say, well, hold on, they're seeing fewer pitches. Isn't that kind of against the modern baseball makeup of a good lineup? Maybe. Last year, they were the most patient team in baseball. This year, they're nowhere near that. They've been attacking. They've been aggressive. I don't know what teams will do to combat that potentially moving forward, but they've swung way more than they did a year ago. And for now, that has really benefited them. And Jackson Merrill is a good example. I mean, he's walked a lot. He's not striking out, but he's just taking advantage of opportunities.
And what Kevin said today is like, you don't know how much Victor Rodriguez, their hitting coach, hitting instructor, plays into the reason why this team has been better offensively this year. I don't know like what to pinpoint, but like you said there, just being more aggressive. Sometimes being aggressive plays in your favor.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not going to work all the time. It's just not. But it feels like a Shilty managed baseball team is just going to be aggressive. They just are. And there's been a lot of times this year so far that they have been aggressive, and it hasn't always worked out.
Correct.
But every single Schulte post-game press conference, when he's asked about aggressive plays that, may have not worked out, he is to a T. I stand by that aggressive-ness 100%, whether it works or not. And could it be a detriment at times? Yeah, it could be. But like you said, John, it's working out for them in ways that it didn't work out for them last year.
Let's go through when they tie the game up at 7. What inning was it, Jim? When they tied at 7, was it the 6th or the 7th? I gotta think it was the 7th inning.
That was
Top of the 7th.
No, that was that was the top of the 7th inning.
Okay.
He scored a 3 runs.
So hear me out. Let's talk aggressiveness for a minute. I want to say the rally starts with the bottom of the lineup: Merrill and Wadey.
Action Jackson.
I think it was Action Jackson, then an 0-2 pitch to Wadey that he stayed back on. So now you have first and third, one out. And Schulte, to everyone's point, now you have Xander Bogaerts, who ran into more double plays than anyone in baseball last year and was terrible tonight, had an error, right? Easily could have cost him the game. To his teammates' credit, they picked him up. But a couple of things. You can send Wadey there, as he did, and stay out of a double play. But what if Bogaerts, and I don't know what the count was, but you can also run into an out or run into a double play. I don't know what the count was, but you can run into an out, right? He swings through it, and the runner's thrown out at second. But Bogaerts puts the ball in play. Again, if you don't start the runner, the inning's over at 7-4.
Yeah.
Run scores at 7-5, and then Tatis hits the 2-run home run. That's all Schilt. I mean, that's all Schilt. Again, is it going to work out 100 out of 100 times? No, but you're playing percentages, and it worked perfectly, absolutely perfectly here tonight.
Yeah, it did. That was a key, inside baseball move right there is starting the runner, because if you don't start the runner, it's probably a double play there because he grounded out to Max Muncy.
He hit it hard to third. I think it's 5-4-3.
And Tyler Wade's, he's not slow. He's not slow. He got some speed on him. But if you don't start the runner there, you're probably running the risk of the double play being turned. And that was a really good move there, sending Tyler Wade. It was. And then you get the big 2-run bop from Tatis, which at first, there was a moment in this game where I was completely fooled. The Campusano fly out to left. I thought that was 700 feet.
Everyone did, but yeah, it was.
And then the
one of those beautiful swings off the end of a bat.
And the Tatis home run, to me, just watching it live, as soon as he hit it, it didn't off the bat say, "Oh, that's a definite home run." He just had so much backspin on that ball. That thing flew out.
Dude.
And he has so much power.
Dude, 8 homers, and there were other balls hit really well. Teoscar Hernandez took Tatis back to the track. I didn't think he was going to on that one swing late in the game. I think that was in the 8th inning. There were 8 home runs on what couldn't have been more than a 60-degree night in Los Angeles. I mean, gloomy, gray, overcast, not great ideal hitting conditions, you wouldn't think, but the ball really did travel, and balls were hit well for what. And Yamamoto, by the way, the Padres have completely tagged Yamamoto. Oh, I mean, completely tagged him in 2 starts.
He's given up no earned runs versus everyone else, and versus the Padres, he's given up
7 runs,
7 runs
in 7 innings, or I don't know. What was his line today? His line, it was effective.
It was. I think he went 5 and he gave up 3, struck out 6. I mean, that's not a bad start.
Yeah,
it's not a bad start, but early on, we've even mentioned it. Early on, you get the 2-run blast from Manny Machado in the first inning. You're like, all right, here we go.
Manny's been a lot better, guys. He's hit in 6 straight. They changed an error to a hit for him to give him a hit from 3 or 4 days ago. He's hitting 6 straight. They intentionally walked him late. He's been a lot better. He's got his OPS up to 743, which is fine. I mean, it's not good for Manny, but it's not like it's an embarrassment. It's not 550.
But here's the moment where you feel like Manny's getting hot, and we all said it, he's going to have a stretch. He's going to get his numbers. He's going to get hot at some point. You just hope that it's not this roller coaster of a ride this season where he's super hot and then he goes super cold. You want him to get hot, and then obviously he's going to always cool down. But when he cools down, you want him to be, consistent, right? And maybe this is the part where Manny's heating up. And he gets into that nuclear, dude is the best player on the planet mode. And maybe that's happening right now. Because it'd be cool to have Tatis and Manny just be I mean, you know what I mean? Unstoppable.
Yeah,
Right?
like Freeman and Otani when they're
Exactly.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
SGL Stevens, thank you, man, for the very generous super chat and your
Thank
membership
you.
as well. Again, thank you guys for the supers. Click the $ below the chat box. Thank you for your memberships. Click the join button down below, and thank you for subscribing. He says, "What a game! Team effort and fight not seen any time last year. Clutch plays when needed." So, Marty tweeted this out. I think it's an excellent point. Other people have talked about it as well. First extra innings win last year, game 159. First extra innings win this year, game 16, in their first extra innings game of the season. Also, can you recall a memorable comeback for the Padres last year? They've had two memorable ones this year, including a home opener win where they came back from the Giants in the seventh inning, trailing 3-2. I mean, they are different than last year. Doesn't mean they're going to win 95 games, but they are different. They are clearly different out of the gates than the team they were a year ago.
Yep. Still, I still believe getting out to a fast start is huge for this team. Like, you can't start this season for the first month of the year 4 or 5 games under 500. Like, you got to start out playing good baseball, kind of wiping away all of the shit from last year, being better with runners in scoring position. So far, check. Having a better offense that can give you a game where you're down by 5 runs and you can end up, erasing that deficit. Check. Right. Winning an extra inning game. Check. Being better in 1-run games. So far, so good. Having your star players show up. Toddy, check. Having your guys that weren't good last year actually perform so far. Cronenworth, check. The others giving you production. Profar, Campy, Merrill, Action Jackson, right? Check, check, check. So the record is what it is. They're 500, but the signs are good. And hopefully by the end of this month, they are in a position where we all sit here and say they got out to that's a good start. And I hope that's the case at the end of the first month, where we can say that this team got out to a really good start.
I think they've gotten off to a really good start other than record, if that makes sense. Like, all the signs that I want to see, I've seen. And now let's see if the record takes care of itself moving forward. E-Racing with Dale, thank you for the super. He says, what a great damn team win. Merrill, I love this kid. The Dodgers. Bullpen was locked down. Nothing feels better than beating the Dodgers, which is something the Padres have struggled to do in the regular season. We know 13 consecutive seasons they've lost the season series to the Dodgers. They did beat them, of course, in the postseason in 2022. They're 2-1 this year in 3 games against LA. But Merrill has been, a word I love to use, a revelation. He really has. Amazing defensive play where he laid out for a ball in left center field on the warning track. And then coming through in the clutch on an 0-2 pitch against a veteran guy in Alex Vesia, and coming through with a hard hit single through the left side to score the go-ahead run. You can't ask for more.
Can't ask for more from what he's doing. I mean, we didn't even talk about this yet, and I don't think this was even talked about much during the broadcast afterwards and everything. Jackson Merrill, hello. He made like one of the best catches in center field. I mean, catch?
No, just mentioned it a second ago, but yeah, we haven't mentioned it other than that.
I mean, that would have been easily another run there, because I think there was a runner on second.
Would it have been? Was anyone on or not?
I think there was a runner on.
Yeah, I don't know. There were so many twists and turns in this game. I don't remember.
There's so many things in this game where you're like, that was a moment, that was a moment, that was a moment, that was a moment. Well, that catch by Jackson Merrill was definitely a moment. And it wasn't a moment of the game where you're like, great, they're still getting their ass kicked.
No, it was actually with the bases empty. It was after the Betts homer. It was Otani with 2 outs.
Okay. What was the score then? Was it
7-2? 5-3 after the error on Bogarts.
Was it 5-3 or 5-2?
5-3. They had taken a 3-1 lead on a Kimmy home run.
Okay. Still
3-1, then 3-2, then the error, then a 3-run homer. It was 5-3, and then Otani was robbed by Merrill.
Yeah, there's my brain is scrambled from this game, but yeah, that was still. I mean,
it would have been a play.
Great play by him.
It would have been double for Otani, maybe a triple. I mean, it was just a great play. Nick, thank you for the membership. Taco Bell Call 911, thank you for the membership. 619 Cam, thank you for your membership and for your super chat. He says another great team comeback win. And kudos to El Nino Crony, Manny, the BP, the bullpen, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
and Merrill. Thanks for doing a late show in LFGSD. Yeah, I mean, everyone plays a role. I mean, how do you win a game like this without? I just sensed it, Jim. You could feel it. Like they were just making plays, like Cronenworth by dugouts in foul territory, and guys leaning over railings and overcoming an error on like Tyler Wade at third. That just things were working in their manner after Tatis hit the home run, even though it stayed 7-7 for like 4 or 5 innings. Just things were working out. And it just felt like one that they were going to find a way. Even though top of the 10th inning, you don't score, you figure game's over. You don't score.
Oh,
Dodgers
dude,
have a runner at second. They get the runner to third on a fly out to center. All of a sudden, it's runner at third, one out. And then
here we
Teoscar
go.
Hernandez, that was the big moment. Delo strikes him out, and then Swarry comes on.
You're like, here we go again. It just, after that moment where they didn't score, you
forget how they didn't score.
They had, what was it? I think there was a runner on first and third.
Top of the 10th inning.
Tatis
grounds out. Tatis grounds out. Cronenworth grounds out, and that moves Xander to third. So it's now runner at third, 2 outs. Yarborough intentionally walks Machado. That's when we smile ear to ear. And then Profar grounded back to the mound. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then I figure it was over because Will Smith flies out to center. You got a runner at third, 1 out. I mean, not over, but you're in a tough spot. And then De Los Santos walks Max Muncy, and then Teoscar Hernandez strikes out. And that's when they went to Swarry.
Yeah, that strikeout of Teoscar Hernandez was everything.
It's huge.
Massive.
Absolutely huge. Absolutely huge.
And the numbers showed De Los Santos had a little bit of ownage on Teoscar Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big spot to trust Delo. He came up huge.
He did. No, he absolutely did. Jeffrey, thank you for the membership. Thank you for the super. He says, was I the only one in the 10th inning saying, here we go again? Yeah, as we were just kind of commenting on. Perfectly on cue. It's still early, but this team feels different. Everything I agree with. I thought 10th inning, here we go again. And then that's not what happened. And then I look up and say, this team came back from 8-0 down this week. This team came back from 7-3 down at Dodger Stadium after a terrible error that felt like changed the entire complexion of the game. You're like, oh, game's over. Here we go again. Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, just to give them an extra out that leads to a 3-run home run. You're like, we're not winning a game where we give a team a 3-run home run.
Yeah,
as good as LA, but they did.
Yeah. Going back to something that you said, like all the indicators of this team, and I agree, all the indicators are on the uptick. They're all positive. Like they feel more positive than they were last year. They feel like this team is different than last year. Everything feels different other than the record being 500. And that's also like the problem here because the record is everything. It's everything. And at the end of this year, if we say, man, that offense was one of the best like offenses, in baseball, top 10, Merrill was, like rookie of the year and all that stuff like that, blah, blah. And Tatis hit 50 home runs, but they're 82-80 and they missed out the postseason by 3 games. So to me, the record is.
Do you see that as likely based on the way that they have played?
Well, the way they played, John, is still 500.
But if they play, but we can't get carried away with that because you've only played 3 or 4 opponents.
True.
You've played 3 teams or 4 teams. You have 25 other teams to play. If you play like this against the whole league, do you get the benefit?
I would say their chances of getting the benefit go up and have good chances because if you're doing what you're doing now and you at least stay around what you're doing, you have a better chance than not to kind of separate from 500 and whatnot and give yourself a really good chance to make the postseason. But that's the only thing is everything we've said and you said is true. It's just that record. It's everything with this team this year.
I agree. I agree. But me. But I read Kevin's article yesterday and I kind of buy into it. He's like, hey, Manny, what's the team's record? He's like, I have no clue. I don't care. Xander Bogaerts, what's the team's record? I have no clue. I don't care. I mean, they didn't say that, but they're saying like, we're doing things here. We're doing it differently. We feel like we're playing good baseball. We came back from 8 runs down. We just won a series. We feel like we're playing better baseball. We'll look up at some point and look at our record, but not now. I kind of buy it. If they play like this for a majority of the year,
You would
easier
think
said than done.
yeah.
Like you just said, if Merrill's a rookie of the year candidate, if Tatis is an MVP candidate, if you get good starting pitching, Michael King's a huge question mark. But you'll look up and they'll have won more games than they did a year ago. I'm almost positive of it. I'm
You
almost
think
positive of it. If we look up, it's Merrill, rookie of the year candidate, Tatis, MVP candidate. You get relatively good starting pitching. I'm almost positive we'll look up and they'll be better.
I hope so, because it'd be very Padre-esque if those things happened and they're still like a 500 team. But I
True,
hope
they did have the Cy Young Award winner last year.
yeah, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they weren't good. Andrew, thanks, man, for the membership in the super. He says, great win tonight, picking up where they left off. Yes, agreed. Off and off day, winning a series.
Do we dare say Monday's win feels now like a turning point?
Ooh.
Ooh. I mean, look what's happened the last week since that win on Monday night, right?
Let's talk Sunday night about that.
Sunday night we can talk. Sunday night we can officially talk about it. But hey, you're going to need multiple, quote, turning points throughout a season. You need jolts of energy throughout a season. And that was a jolt of energy on Monday night. And we said the only way this win truly means something other than just a win or a loss is if they parlay this into playing good baseball and pick up a bunch of wins over the next week and a half, right? Then we can say, maybe that win did mean a little bit more. Maybe that win did, catapult this team into playing really good baseball for the next week. Because while momentum is something that in baseball you never really say is a thing, Kevin mentioned it when he was talking to the players this year, is like, if the players believe in momentum, then that's all that matters. And if they believe that somehow Monday night was a momentum builder, and it's a thing. And remember what I said, John? I said that win will give them something to put in their back pocket to say, we're never out of a game, to look back on and say, hey, we're down by 5 runs. Look what we did that one time. Like, we have that in our bag. We've done it before. After the game tonight, Jackson Merrill said the exact thing post-game. Hey, 5 runs. We feel like we're not out of it. We've done it before, and we felt like we could do it again. And that's what happened.
Yeah, that's a great point. No, I completely agree. It's a very good point. And to do it twice in a week is something they didn't do basically twice in a season in 2023. All right, guys, if you are here, please subscribe. We're on our way to 6,000. We need to get to 6,000 subscribers this month. It's kind of a mandate. So if you are here, please subscribe. We got to get this show to 6,000 subscribers. We can do it because of you guys. Everyone that is here live or on replay, please subscribe, smash the like button for us. And again, thank you for the supers and the memberships. We need to thank our title sponsor. We can't do it without our viewers. We can't do it without Mark Nimitz, who we've been texting back and forth with all night long, all day long. He is such a huge Padres fan. He is such a big supporter of this channel. He helped get us off the ground when we started this back in 2021. He's an amazing insurance agent. You can take that from me. I've got a homeowner's and an earthquake and a life insurance policy with Mark, and he can save you a lot of money just by switching your insurance. So first of all, Mark's a great insurance agent. Secondly, he can save you money. Third, the next time you have a renewal or an insurance need, call Mark. Click the link in the description down below. Get a free quote online, or call him and just talk about the Padres. He would love to talk to you about the Padres. He would love to save you money on your insurance. And then if you ever need to file a claim like I did back in 2022, he's going to take care of you. He's going to save you time. He's going to save you money. So he's a great insurance agent. If you support our work, if you support this channel, please support Mark Nimitz by clicking the link in the description down below.
Yeah, Mark is the best person to go to for all your insurance needs. Go to emojis in the chat for our buddy Mark. I know Mark's in the chat watching us right now, so give him some love. Hi, Mark.
Mark.
Go to his email address. Reach out to Mark, mnimitz@farmersagent.com. When you reach out to our buddy Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the Wrap-Up Show sent you.
I have an interesting comment I wanted to share, and then I want to get back to these super chats, and we'll pick right up. But I tweeted out, like I said on the show, both of these teams have scored 88 runs. Okay, 16 games. Doesn't mean they'll both score the same amount of runs this year, but that's what they've done to this point.
Yeah.
And then someone replied, true, but missing context. And I said, which is? And he said, scoring lots of runs in some games, then very little in others, thus equaling a 500 team. That said, tonight was such a great team win. Yes and no. I mean, again, if you score like this, 5.5 runs a game over 162, that's where, again, you look up and you say, where are we standing? They didn't score like that a year ago. If you score 5.5 runs per game and you play at Petco Park and you have good starting pitching and you have Robert Suarez, that should be enough. I mean, the Dodgers are 10-6. Maybe they have consistently scored runs more like 5 or 6 per game as opposed to 2 one day and 9 the other, but it's only 16 games.
Mhm.
So I don't think there's anything misleading about it. They haven't played the exact same schedule, but Padres have scored 88 runs. The Dodgers have scored 88 runs. It's not saying they're the same team. It's just a factual statement.
Right. And, what we've said is like, I would much rather take a team, in a 3-game series, you score at least 5 runs every game than going, 10, 2, and 3.
Yep.
So then you can say, hey, well, they averaged 5 runs in the series. It's like, well, they scored 10 runs in one game, 2 runs in the other, and 3 in the other. So I'd much rather have them go 5-5-5 than 10-2-3. And that's where you talk about this offense hopefully becoming more of a consistent offense where they don't have games where they score 10 runs and the next game they score 2 or 1, where they score 7 runs or 10 runs and the next game they score 4 or 5 runs, or they score 4 runs the first game, 6 runs the second game, and 5 runs the next game. Like, that's what you want to see. It's not going to always happen that way. If they did that, if they scored 4, 5, and 6 runs every single game, I mean, they'd be like the best team in baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're gonna have games where you score 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs, no runs. It's 1 run. Like, it's gonna happen. We just want to make sure those don't happen on a consistent roller coaster basis, like we've seen with this team before.
Yep. No, I completely agree. Okay, let's get back to some of these supers that are rolling in. So many of you guys to get to. We appreciate your support of the channel, like this from James, who's a member and also contributes to the super. He says, a new theme in 24 is the comeback kids. Hashtag beat LA. They have, I think, if they're 8 wins, they've come from behind to win at least in 3 of them. I don't know if it's more than that or not. I know, again, home opener. I know 8-0. I know tonight. I don't know about their other 5 wins, but 3 come from behind wins. There's a ton in 1/10 of the schedule. I mean, if they have 25, 30 come from behind wins, that would be about 20 more than they had a year ago.
Yeah, it would be like 100 wins.
It'd be like a real team. I mean, that's like a real damaging, team that can do damage, that can overcome deficits 25 or 30 times in a season to win. That's more like LA typically than San Diego. Joshua, thank you. Appreciate the generosity. Says he likes Merrill. I love this super chat. I like Merrill. Grisham would have struck out looking right there. That is 100%. Such a good super chat. And by the way, it's not just in that moment, and that's the biggest moment where you put the magnifying glass on and say, wow, what a massive moment. But if you've been watching this year like Joshua has, like Padres fans that are here have, this has happened countless number of times where Merrill has produced, where it would be very easy to say Grisham, unfortunately, would not have.
I said I had that rant last year after Grisham bunted with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
And the
team was anemic compared to this team on offense.
Yeah. And essentially it was, get him off this team now. You can find anybody that is an upgrade over Trent Grisham. His defense isn't like this Ken Griffey Jr. like defense, and his offense is so detrimental to the team. Go find anybody else. It will be an upgrade over Trent Grisham. And not only is Jackson Merrill an upgrade over Trent Grisham, it is such a breath of fresh air because he plays just as good as defense as Trent Grisham did. Okay, maybe even a little better because I think his speed
right
in the outfield, he's faster than Trent Grisham was, covers more ground, and his plate discipline so far for a 20-year-old, I mean, it's ridiculous how good it is so far. And it just feels like if he maintains this, he's only going to get better. And what he's doing at the bottom of the lineup, again, just keep him there. Like,
just keep him right there.
He is doing fantastic. Don't mess with him. Like, the biggest thing about baseball is routine. Biggest thing about baseball is routine. You don't want to mess up anybody's routine. And while later in his career, you might, and maybe even later this season, you might see him move up in the lineup.
Yeah, definitely.
As of right now, I'm not touching him until minimum like 150 at bats. After 150 at bats, if he's still doing this and he's hitting around 300 and he's showing the play discipline that he's been showing, then we can have a real discussion, I feel like. But as of right now, just 16 games into his big league career, that just let him be. That's just let him cook and let him develop where he is. That's my take on Jackson Merrill.
Ben Barilla, man, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the generous super. Really appreciate it. Let's get to it here. He says, at the plate, I see more emphasis on back and weight balance and shift through getting the front foot down, which results in more explosiveness and backspin. Allowing the contact zone to do the work and not just trying to muscle it. I like this breakdown, Ben. I'm not opposed to being the next hitting coach if things don't work out here with Rodriguez, although they are right now. I mean, I have sensed a little bit of that. I feel like the 2-strike approach, we saw some 0-2 hits, clutch ones like weighty in this game in front of the, again, Tatis home run. And also, again, Merrill 0-2 to a good veteran reliever. This isn't just some rando. I know Vesia had struggled recently, allowed a couple of home runs, I want to say, in Minnesota, but like that's a big spot, and you're vulnerable at 0-2. I mean, what's the average batting average of a hitter in the big leagues? 0-2, 140, 160. It's something like that. I mean, it's not good. So to come through in a spot like that is a credit to obviously Merrill, but it wasn't just Merrill tonight. And what you're saying, Ben, in terms of their approach, there's value and merit to what you're saying, because they really have had better approaches, better plate appearances this year than they did last year.
And I don't know who or what to like definitively point towards to why they're having these better at bats, and to what you said, Ben, there, like what it feels like they're doing. But whatever it is, just like keep doing it. Like, when it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I address something real quick? This person might have been nerfed in the chat.
What's nerfed in the chat, man?
Like erased by he might have been erased. But this fucking clown in the chat, Sam Neuendorf. I see what you're saying. Okay. Why are you here? You think I'm like negative all the time. You don't listen to me. Like, you're the troll. He's in the chat telling me I'm the troll. No, you're the troll, buddy. Okay. I'm here talking about a great Padres win. Listen to my words. Have I been negative at all tonight?
No, I know. I'm looking back now to just.
You want to be a giant troll like you are, then you are going to get destroyed in the chat, and you're also going to get probably blocked. So I would shut up and just watch the content, because clearly you like watching us if you are here. So thank you for watching. Shut up. Don't put anything else in the chat, or you're gone. Bye-bye.
Okay, while you're on that, I already muted the guy that we had that like 50 reply thread on Twitter earlier today.
I think he was just kind of like, he didn't understand a joke. So like,
I don't think he got it. He was like, I can't believe you said that the Yankees won the trade because Michael King allowed 7 runs tonight. Clearly you don't understand. I'm like, guys, do you understand social media? Have you ever followed Jim on social media? Not just Jim. I mean, we joke.
It's a joke. It's a bit.
When someone tweets out on April 12th, the team won the trade, they're kidding.
It's a joke,
either way. Kim could have thrown a perfect game tonight, and you tweet out Padres won the trade, and it's still a joke.
Yeah.
It's April 12th. Nobody's winning anything on April 12th. So guys, take a deep breath. Everyone relax. Relax.
And then one more thing. Someone else in the chat saying sucks how you block for having a different point of view. This is not for having a different point of view. This is for being just a stupid troll. That's why.
Sucks how many block? No, it's not for. Yeah, exactly. There's a difference. You can have your own opinion. You can absolutely. You guys know, if you've spent any time with us, we ban so few people. We let it go so far. There might be some moderate. We have moderators on this channel. I don't even know who's a mod, and people might ban on our behalf occasionally. We've never told people to do it ever. We ban people when they start cursing and kicking and screaming and calling people names and going well above and beyond, because you've seen the chat. We let everything fly in the chat. We don't even monitor the chat because we do all the super chats. And so,
and obviously if like you get the Dodger trolls in here, it's like, just go away. You know, go away. Like, why are you trying to
No,
spam
actually,
me?
please watch.
Well, that too. But at the same time, like, just stop. And this guy in this chat is like going on and on and on about like Jim sucks. He's a negative piece of shit. Like, dude, like it was I was seeing it and I'm like, I'm not gonna who cares? This guy's a loser. And then it's got to a point I'm like, shut up, dude. You're not listening to me. If you think I'm being negative tonight, then leave because I'm not. I was
I
talking about a
think he
great
may
team
have
win.
left.
Well, I good.
Or
Earned
he's
good.
got banned or whatever. HBVV, thank you. He says ugly stadium was empty. Parole officers will be busy. I mean, here's the thing. It's a Friday night. It's a weekend series. The Dodgers are supposed to be, you know, this 120 win team that's going to steamroll through everyone. It's not perfect weather, yada yada yada. What they announce? 50K, I'm sure, or like 49. Let's see,
They
49.
had 49,606.
49-6. Place was empty upstairs. But let's be honest. You see those sections down the first and third base lines. I know it's big. I know it's chilly, but it's the weekend. Show up. I'm sorry. If Petco Park held 56,000 tonight, it would be filled. Who disagrees with that? If Petco Park held 56,000 tonight, it would be filled.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. It's just the truth. So, yeah, they're going to lead baseball in attendance, yada, yada, yada. Oh, thank you, Sam.
Thanks for the super, Sam. You're not negative.
That was earlier.
You're just negative. That's it. What have I been negative about tonight? I want you to put don't block him, Maria. Don't block him. Nobody block him. I want to know what have I been negative about tonight? Give me one thing that I've been negative about tonight's win. I'll wait. Everyone in the chat's waiting for you, buddy. You're here. Speak up.
Take your time, because what we're going to do, you can come up with a very thorough response to that, Sam.
Yes. What have I been negative about tonight?
We're going to thank our partner here on the wrap-up show, longtime partner, over 2 years, in fact, our friends at Aura. Their co-founder, Will, San Diegan, huge Padres fan. I'm sure as excited as we all are for a Padres win tonight at Dodger Stadium and come from behind fashion. If you support this channel, they've got offices right here, Liberty Station, plant-based nutritional products. All of their products are plant-based. It's an amazing company. I've been taking their probiotic for years, by 2+ years at this point, every single day for digestion. Heart health, mental clarity. There's so many reasons to take a probiotic. They have pre-workout supplements that are plant-based. They have omega-3 oils for people that are taking fish oil, so you can grab an omega-3 oil and get the same health benefits. They have sleep pills and immunity pills. I mean, and so much more, by the way. So check them out at ora.organic by clicking the link in the description down below. But again, if you support the channel, if you want to get healthier, it's a great company with great products that are plant-based, so check them out.
Yeah, go there right now, www.ora.organic. They have everything you need to live a healthy lifestyle that you crave. They have the pre-workouts for all you guys that like to work out there. Best on the market. The probiotics, great for your gut health. If you have trouble sleeping, they have sleep pills as well there too. Protein powder for protein shakes in the morning or after your workout, or at night, just to get quick, good protein in your system. Go there right now, www.ora.organic. I'm just not going to respond because
we're
not
done
even
with
worth
Sam.
it. We're done.
Proved
our point. Anyway,
Jeremy, thank you, says popcorn. Yes, absolutely. Grab some, make it in the microwave, come back.
I love popcorn. Popcorn is so good. What's your favorite popcorn? Because mine has to be just straight up buttered popcorn.
I hate popcorn, and let me tell you why. It's a Debbie Downer. I'm going to tell you why I hate popcorn. It is the worst. It is the worst broadcast food in the world.
Why are you so negative all the time, John?
Because it gets stuck in the back of my throat.
Are you going to eat popcorn before you go on a broadcast?
Well, when can you eat it? We do broadcasts every single day.
What do you mean, when can you eat it? You eat it right now. Well, after the show.
Maybe. But that's late, man. It's like midnight.
Okay.
I'm not eating popcorn at midnight.
White, yeah. Thank you, Mike Schilt. White cheddar popcorn, top tier. It really is.
I like popcorn. I loved it as a kid, but as an adult, it's just tough.
You know what's really good popcorn is from Chicago, and I forget what the company's called, but it's
Chicago popcorn.
Yeah, I forget, it's like a famous company that does popcorn, and they have regular popcorn.
Orville Redenbacher's.
No, it's regular popcorn mixed with like caramel corn popcorn, and then what is it? And like chocolate popcorn, I think. It's so good. It's ridiculous. Or no, sorry, cheddar. Cheddar cheese popcorn, and caramel corn and regular popcorn mixed together. So good.
I like it.
Garrett,
Rocket, thank you.
Garrett's, yes, Garrett's. So
Garrett's.
good.
Rocket, thank you. I assume this isn't Rocket's actual headshot. Is this from a movie, Jim?
No, that's like an anime character, John.
Oh, whatever. Rocket says 1-0 at extras this year, better than last year. Way better. Their first extra inning win came in game 159. They finished 2-12 somehow. So they had 2 wins in their last 3 or 4 games. But
wasn't it game 159?
Last year was so 159.
159.
And they were 0-12. It was the worst start in the history of baseball for any team ever in extra innings.
So
bad. I got to give Schulte credit here. I know it's 16 games.
Massive
we'll be critical
credit.
again. We'll be critical again. And we were complimentary of Bob Melvin a good amount in 2022. We were critical too when we thought there was reason to be, but there wasn't a lot of reason for praise of Melvin last year. Not to put it on him. I'm not putting it on him at all.
No.
But there wasn't a lot of praiseworthy stuff. It just wasn't a good team, and that's not necessarily his fault. But we weren't praising him because the team wasn't very good. It just feels like there's reasons to praise Mike. There's reasons to praise Mike Schulte. It feels like this year. Not everything. We've laughed at some of the nicknames, but that doesn't really have any factor or bearing in anything. And clearly, man, he really sticks up for his team. I mean, he will scream it until he's blue in the face. All he cares about is sticking up for his team. You could argue the merits of that with the media or the fan base or how it comes across from a credibility perspective, but it may play in the clubhouse. We'll have to see.
Yeah, the thing that we've talked about most with Schulte this year is just his like nicknames and post-game things, right? But as far as in-game things have gone, there hasn't been a moment so far through 16 games where you're like, what the hell's he doing? Like I can't think of a moment. You might have like questions like, oh, should they have pitched this guy, or like should he have done this, and
right,
this and that, but there's been nothing that's been egregious on his part in game managing so far, and that's something that everyone's kind of feeling out is like, okay, what kind of manager is Mike Schulte? Like, what kind of guy?
There was the, in my opinion, dumb take the other day that how could you go to Burrito and then you lost the lead in San Francisco?
It had
nothing to do with Burrito. Kim can hold on to a tag play, 1 in 1,000 play, especially for an elite defender like him, probably 1 in 5,000 play, maybe beyond that, maybe 1 in 10,000 play. I mean, it was complete dumb random luck. They've had 2 of the worst breaks in baseball this year, and I'm not kidding when I say that. The Kim ball that popped out of his mitt and the Cronenworth ball that went through his mitt are 2 of the worst plays that's happened to any team in baseball this year, right? We all agree with that. They lost those 2 games, and they're still 8-8. I mean, so again, maybe, you get quote unquote luckier. You're 9-7. You're 10-6. Who the hell knows? So there's plenty of time for them to make up some of those disappointing losses that were like 1 in 1,000 play resulted, from a play that was like a 1 in 1,000 play. Let's get back to some of these supers like this from Run It Back. Thank you. He says Suarez is stone cold. He's been unfazed. He's been incredibly effective. I didn't know what to expect from Robert Suarez this year. Right now, he looks like one of the best closers in baseball.
Said to start the year, one huge key for this entire bullpen is if Robert Suarez is 2022 Robert Suarez. Because if that's the case, then you start defining roles and you don't have to worry about who's your closer going to be. You don't have to worry about who's going to get the 9th inning. You don't have to worry about maybe giving him 4 outs because, well, we didn't know at the time, but Schulte is definitely going to, have Suarez do a lot of 4-out saves this year. Tonight wasn't a 4-out save, but he pitched 4 outs. He's done that 3 times this year. 5 outs, 4 outs, and 4 outs.
Did you see this on social media that his last 3 outings, he's thrown 45 total pitches. They're all 4-seam fastballs.
Good. And that's his best pitch.
I love that. Exactly. This is a classic. If you have Christian McCaffrey, use him. Everyone knows you're going to use him, but you have Christian McCaffrey.
Why'd you have to use that example?
No, it's a good example because he's the best running back in football. Robert Suarez throws 100 with movement. He can't be hit right now. Now, someone's going to get him, but the other 94% of people, I mean, literally, he's going to hold guys like a 100 batting average against with this type of stuff. So challenge batters, and that's what he's done. And you're talking about, again, legitimate lineups, tough spots, one-run games, late game situations. I mean, he's been great. His average velocity was 99.2 with his four-seam fastball. That's pretty good.
Yeah. If you're a closer, like Hoffman, hey, what's your best pitch? The changeup. Like, we're going to use the changeup a lot,
Yeah.
and we're going to work in other pitches when they need to, but predominantly we're going to be throwing the changeup, right? Hey, Mariano Rivera, what's your best pitch? The cutter. Okay, so we're going to be throwing the cutter a lot.
Yeah,
like
it's all
I'm
good.
probably going to go a couple outings here in a row where I'm just going to throw the cutter because guess what? It works. So with Swarry, hey, what was it, two-seam?
Four-seam.
Four-seam? Hey, four-seam is your best pitch. We're probably going to throw the four-seam a lot. And guess what? It's working right now. So I applaud him for that. I applaud the team and Ruben Niebla for probably telling him to do that because it's working. And with him being as dominant as he is right now, man, does it do a lot for your bullpen. It does so much for a bullpen when you have a guy that's just locked down in the ninth inning.
And even more than,
And
if
than
he's
that,
going to give you the fourth out and he's going to pitch like this, then it's really encouraging. W, thank you. He says X is a bad contract. I agree. Bench
so
needs
far,
an
yeah.
upgrade. I agree.
Is it too negative for tonight, though? For some of these
No,
guys?
it's fine. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's just a factual statement until he proves us wrong.
Yeah, Xander Bogaerts has been bad this year so far. Just offensively, it's bad. The only moment he's had this year is that 2-run home run on Monday. Big home run, big spot. Credit to him.
It was.
But as Rich said in the chat, like he sucked tonight. He was not good tonight. That error that cost them 3 runs, and then his at bats late in that game wasn't good.
He has a 572 OPS. And again, 16 games where I'm not going to say go trade him to the A's.
No,
you can't. They don't have the money, nor does any team have the 280 to take on for Xander Bogaerts. But it's as simple as, it's like what we would say about Manny over the years. Just be better. I'm sorry. There's no solution here. You're going to play every single day. You're going to play second base. You could argue, why is Bogaerts at second and forget it all. This is where he's playing. He's got to play better in the field. He's got to hit better than he's hit. And they've overcome it to this point because they've been fine, but they'd be better if Bogaerts was producing. Felipe, thank you. He says, with Kolic's usage so far and history showing contenders don't usually have Rule 5 players on roster, will Kolic stick around or a player to be upgraded? That's a great question. I can't assure you that he'll stick around. Now, overall, he's had moments. He hasn't been awful. He's been exposed at times. He had a scoreless inning here today, which was critical behind Michael King. But I don't know if they'll make him stick or not.
Yeah, I've been on record that you can upgrade over Stephen Kolic.
Probably true.
But as long as he's doing well for you, it's fine. It's just there's been times this year where you're like, Stephen Kolic, come on, what are we doing here?
When they faced,
but he did well tonight, so that's what matters.
Yeah, it's so fun. Someone said he almost went 0 for 6 tonight, talking about Bogaerts for a second. And the reason I find it interesting, I'm like, could they have walked? This is a ridiculous statement, what I'm about to say. Could they have walked Merrill to get to Bogaerts? A, that's ridiculous just saying it, but they couldn't have because Merrill's hitting 8th. But imagine a team be like, put on Merrill and Wade
to get to Bogey.
I mean, that's crazy talk. I mean, Wade, you would have faced it. Now, could you say, now Rosario pinch hit for Wade?
So, yeah.
So you weren't going to put on Merrill, and you're not putting on Merrill. If you're the LA Dodgers, you're like, we're not putting on Jackson Merrill. We're going to face him, and we're going to get him out. And they didn't, to Merrill's credit. Talon, thank you for the super. He says, great game. OJ guilty.
What?
And let's go, Brandon. Very controversial super chat. Well, not really. Is that controversial? Maybe.
The OJ guilty thing? Not really.
Well, I think, or the let's go, Brandon. I mean,
that could
we usually stay away from politics, but
yeah, we don't do politics here, guys.
But thank you for the super chat.
Or double murder cases where
we typically stayed away from the double murder cases.
Right.
Not always, but typically. Okay, while we have a moment, let's tell you about, this isn't the right one.
It's not the right
Let's
one.
say about underdog fantasy. All right. Because we've both been playing and winning. Jim hit big tonight. We'll tell you about in a moment. Easiest place to play is underdog fantasy. Best and easiest place to play fantasy sports. It says you can win 20 times your money in a single night. That's a lie. You can win 100 times your money with Scorchers. We'll explain. You go 2 for 2, you win 3 times your money. 3 for 3, 6 times. 4 for 4, 10 times. 5 for 5, 20 times or more. A $10 wager can turn into $1,000 in underdog fantasy if you use promo code PODSWRAP. That is PADSWRAP. If you sign up right now with promo code PODSWRAP, you're also getting a free pick'em for the Masters this weekend, I believe. Promo code PODSWRAP, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100. So go to Underdog Fantasy or click the link in the description down below and get that 100% deposit match up to $100 by using promo code PODSWRAP. Now, what did you hit on here tonight?
Well, also too, I mean, if you signed up, you had a free Fernando Tatis Jr. play today of having over a half of at bat.
No, just a plate appearance.
A plate appearance.
Walked every single time.
Right, a plate appearance. So now you can get that free Masters play as well if you sign up using PODSWRAP tonight, John. What I love to do, and here's the cool thing about Underdog, if people don't know about this, right? You can do in-game wagers.
You love the in-game. Is that how you won?
That's how I won. The in-game wagers are like, it's fantastic because
look at this. I got a free one right here. Higher than a half stroke for Max Homa.
Oh, dude, there you go. Perfect.
If he hits the ball one time, I win.
He will hit the ball one time.
I could see it.
But what I did and what I do a lot of I do in-game things. Like I usually wait for I do it mostly for basketball because it's easier that way. I can see how a guy's like performing in a night and then make a play there. But tonight, I won big. Well, for my standards, I won big. I had Draymond Green lower than 5.5 points. He didn't even attempt a single shot tonight. And then the next two were very tricky, but it hit. Chris Paul lower than 19.5 points plus rebounds plus assist. He ended up with 19 points, rebounds, and assists. So I beat it out by a half. And then Zion lower than 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He had 32 total. So I beat out both of those on a half picks. $20 paid out $120. It's as easy and simple as that. You don't have to bet big money to win big money. You can make a play for $10 that could pay out to like $400+ potentially. Now the free plays, you're only allowed to bet maximum of $10, but for everything else, I mean, the wagers, you don't have to spend big money here. And the cool part is if you sign up using promo code PODSWRAP, yes, I know this is our eBay segment. You use code PODSWRAP, you get $100 matched. You basically get $100 free to spend on wagers higher or lower. It's free money you're spending. Free money to win real money. So go there right now.
Let me give you one crazy one.
PODSWRAP.
Look at this.
Underdog Fantasy. Yes.
Hold on. Let me give you a crazy one. So I get the free Homa pick, right? If he has
one
stroke.
I love this.
Look at this. Look at this play. This is just all I need is two things to happen. If Randy Arozarena homers and Yordan Alvarez has a double tomorrow, a $10 wager pays $8.25.
Lock it in, John. Lock it in.
I will.
See,
now I have to do it on my phone.
Yeah.
But I will. So let me say that again. You're getting a free pick'em. So they're kind of starting you on the process. If Arozarena homers tomorrow and Alvarez doubles, 10 pays $8.25. But wait, let's say you don't even want both of them. Let's say now forget about Alvarez. 10 pays $165, 16.5 to 1 if Arozarena homers tomorrow. Like that's incredible.
And you already get a free play. So you only have to hit one. And it's much easier to hit one than it is to hit, 5.
Yeah. All right. Promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Play along with us this weekend.
And that was our eBay segment. You are welcome, everybody.
Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's the legalese. All right. What else, man?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I see our buddy Mark Bartlett's in the chat, and I feel like a lot of Padres fans are going to feel the same way. I mean, it's 11:42. I don't think anybody is tired. Nobody's tired. Like every Padres fan's not tired right now. And I'm glad they won the World Series tonight too. I'm glad the Padres won the World Series tonight because according to David Vassay, every team that plays the Dodgers this year, it's their World Series.
It's their World Series, yeah.
It's their World Series.
It's great to win the World Series.
I'm happy that the Padres won the World Series tonight by playing
especially
the
against a National League team. That's so rare to win the World Series.
Very rare. Yeah, but
team,
hey, sometimes you do that. It's pretty cool. It's a cool accomplishment.
Ben, thank you. I don't even know if I'm going to sleep because I'm actually traveling east tomorrow and I'm leaving on a 6:15 a.m. flight, but I'll sleep for like 3 hours. Ben, thank you. He says, okay, real talk, dudes. Given the time of year, how do the taxes work on Underdog Fantasy for those of us who haven't used online wagering services before? Let me answer that. No clue.
Yeah.
But you just ask the accountant. You go to H&R Block. They know the answer. Everyone's playing pick'ems and online fantasy.
Now, here's the thing, though, too. Like, that's a very good question that I didn't even think about.
Now Jim's thinking about it because he's won like $4,000 in the last month.
I'm like, I had to give them my social security number.
Probably because they send it to the IRS, your winnings.
And those are all taxable.
I wouldn't worry about it because you'd still rather win and have winnings taxed as opposed to just lose and not be taxed.
Okay.
So
I don't know.
Great question. Great question. Not for us, unfortunately.
But, well, here's the thing. I know what you're saying. Like, everything that happens in 2024 is on next year's
taxes. Another year to worry about it.
So if you're worried about 3 days from now where taxes are due, I wouldn't worry about it right now, like me. But eventually, it will.
Can't deal with taxes.
I don't want to talk about it.
I haven't done them. I filed for an extension.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I can't do them. I'll do them in like October. SJL Stevens, thank you. I just don't have time for him. I just can't deal with it. SJL Stevens,
who cares? I also just arrest you. It's fine.
No, not if you file an extension.
Okay.
SJL Stevens, thank you for the membership. Thank you for the super. He says, if we win tomorrow, Saturday night wrap up. Here's the thing. Let's make our viewers aware here because I just said I'm traveling east. No, Rich just asked me, is everything fine? Yes. This is my first scheduled real vacation in 5 years. So I'm going to see my mom with my wife and with my 5-year-old for the first time. My 5-year-old's never even been to my mom's house and he's 5. So the next week is Jim.
I'm going to be working a lot next week.
Wrap-up shows, he's got John and Jim. Now, I'll make it up to Jim because Jim's getting married, which is soft. I'm married, so it's not that soft. But
and I'm going to Switzerland.
He's going to Switzerland. And you're going to take a few days off before the wedding, which is reasonable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Wednesday through Friday and Sunday.
Okay, so he's taking off like the Dodgers, or excuse me, the Yankee series and Juan Soto returns. Like, come on, who does that? But
it wasn't me, dude.
I'm kidding. So Jim's going to do a handful of shows. Then I'm going to do a handful of way later. Then Jim's getting married at the end of May, and then Jim's going away in the summertime. But you know the wrap-up show. We'll be here for you. I don't know about Saturday night. That's a Jim Russell question.
For my future lovely, amazing wife, that it's also her birthday weekend, there will not be a show tomorrow night. Sorry.
What if? Is there any scenario? 8-0, come back to win 9-8. Grand Slam Tatis, top of the 9th.
If
it's a pretty good scenario
in that situation, because I'm telling you right now, like this is a labor of love, guys. We work really hard.
The wrap-up show,
yeah. And I understand. Trust me. There's a lot of podcasts out there where I feel the same way. Where I'm like, why aren't you guys doing content right now? Like, what is happening?
Right.
The whole the equation of like our lives are a factor in like our families.
It's a huge factor.
So family is going to come first here. Like John's going to be gone next week, and I'm going to be with my future wife, my fiance, tomorrow night. But if they do happen to have another game like they did tonight, or Tatis hits a grand slam at the top of the 9th inning by trailing by 3 runs and they win that game, I will do an abbreviated, very, very abbreviated quickie wrap up.
I respect that.
Just to do it. But only if those things happen. It can't be like a 6-2 win.
Not a 6-2 win, and it's not gonna be a 6-2 loss. It's gonna have to be like a
A
great
big
win.
moment, a big moment. It'll have to be like tonight's win.
Yeah, I think what people do realize it because I see the super thanks and I see the social media comments and I read the comments in the chat like Jim does and I see the stuff on social media. It, doing a baseball show is a lot of work, and we do it because we do it. I mean, I don't even
Yeah.
know how else to put it other than we started it in 2020 and we haven't stopped, and we're not going to stop because of Padres fans. But like things happen over the course of time, like you said, I mean, you start dating someone, then you're going to get married. I had a child within the last 5 years. So it like, I've worked in baseball my whole career, so I understand it, but baseball's tough, man. I mean, when you're working every single night on something like this, it's not the easiest thing in the world, to
Oh,
be honest.
actually, Rich makes a really good point. Um, Sunday night. See,
You'll make it.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm going out Monday night for Aaron's birthday. I'm going out Sunday night as well.
So wait, is there no wrap-up show until Tuesday?
Um,
Well, worst case, you could always do one like Monday mid-morning.
like I really want to get married, guys. Like I don't want to have like a divorce before I get married. So,
No, you want to wait till be married to get divorced.
and Aaron has worked her fucking ass off for this wedding. So here's the deal.
No crap.
Sunday night. I think I'm gonna have to see how things go. I can't guarantee it though. I can't guarantee a wrap up show Sunday night. See how things go. It will probably most likely be abbreviated, quickie, like for
A
sure.
quickie.
Tomorrow night we're gonna have to. I mean, like you're gonna have to have a lot of shit to happen. And then Monday night. Again, it's her birthday Monday night, and so we'll see. But for sure, no
But
matter
other
what,
than that,
Tuesday, Wednesday, John and Jim's show
fine.
with no John.
Yeah, it's just the Dodgers series. It's not a big deal. Murray, thank you. I know it's a problem. It's a problem. Okay, Murray says everybody shits on X except you two. It takes players time to adjust to different leagues. Fact, Eddie Murray hit 247 in 1989, 330 in 1990. Well, this is one thing I know. And no, we do criticize Xander Bogaerts.
We have shitted on Xander Bogaerts this year. Yes.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm not giving up on the contract. And I'm not giving up on the year, but he's not hitting 330 this year. And it's just unfortunate. I don't know. I don't know what the ceiling is over the next couple of years with Xander Bogaerts. I hope it's better than last year, but I don't know. I don't have the most confidence in the world.
Yeah, I am really worried about this contract. Like really worried because he has no pop, none. He made a critical error at second base tonight. It's a scary contract because this could look really bad here.
It could. We'll see. I mean, again, it's early in the contract, but it hasn't been ideal. By the way, HBVV, wait until you turn 18. You got to be 18 on Underdog Fantasy. But like he said, scare money makes no money. Well said.
Yep. Yeah, and then you'll lose all and it'll be like eBay. It's addicting, man.
Run it back. Thank you. He says, I did see this segment. I saw it on social media. It was on YouTube. Did you guys watch the Pat McAfee show cover the Padres comeback against the Cubs? It's epic. I did. It was kind of funny. Like he just starts getting into it. It's 8-0 and he's running through the whole. I didn't expect it. Yeah, I did. Did you see any of that? It was funny.
I saw it briefly. I'm not really like, oh my God, I need to listen to Pat McAfee's take on the Padres. Like
that's what I thought too, but he actually did a nice job with it because he went like over the top with it. Like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, but he just doesn't. I don't want to listen to a guy that doesn't watch Padres games. Like he saw a highlight and he decided to turn it into a segment. I like Pat McAfee. There's some things that I really like about him. There's some things that I'm just like, I don't really care too much about.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. He's like a bro. He just gives bros takes, and that was a bro take.
Yeah.
Nothing against Pat. I think Pat. I mean, Pat is running ESPN
Circles
now.
around
He
people. Yep.
is he is like changing the game for sure.
Mhm.
But I'm just not running to my computer to listen to Pat McAfee talk about Fernando Tatis Jr.
That is a great comment right
I do. I'm sorry. He's the greatest of all time.
there. Okay. We should run. Oops, I'm an idiot.
Hold on. I need to check something real quick to make sure
What are you
that
going
we're
to check?
good.
First of all, we need people to subscribe. Because I would love for us after replay this, because this show's going to do, I mean, there's going to be 5,000 people that watch this show. So if you're here live or on replay, if you're with us right now, midnight Pacific, 3 a.m. Eastern, or you're with us the next day, whatever day, tomorrow is Saturday, and you're hearing me say this and you haven't subscribed and you just heard us tell you about our struggles, like getting married and trying to do shows during like birthday dinners, please subscribe. Okay. That's all we ask. Please subscribe.
Oh no.
Hit the like. What happened?
What happened?
Did you see that? Why did Chad get banned?
I meant to. What happened to our chat?
Oh no. It's been taken over by Superstar Skipper and Flipper.
What?
What happened to Chad?
What happened to our chat? Did we just get like spammed out of existence?
I think for a moment. But I think we then banned Chad. Did we want to ban Chad?
No.
Well, how do you get Chad back, man?
Hold on.
Go get Chad back. Lord help us. We've been pretty good on this thing.
I didn't mean to. What the hell happened? The chat
Maria,
literally
can
just went
someone who's a
into
mod get Chad back? Or someone, if someone knows Chad, can you tell them to create another account or something?
No, we have to get we can't have him to create another account.
Well, how do you get him back? Google that.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. Chad, I am sorry. I don't know what happened. The entire chat like shit itself because these stupid fucking spam accounts from the stupid.
So wait, what were you saying? What were you about to check? You're like, hold on, let me check something.
How many likes we had on this episode?
Oh no.
God. Okay, we're gonna. You know what we got to do? You know what I think we have to do here
is what?
There we go. Is we need to make, and I saw this on someone else's stream. We need to make our chat just subscribers of the channel of over.
That's kind of risky then, because that's smart. No, it's smart. Yeah, what are we talking about? Why wouldn't we just have subscribers to the channel?
I mean, everybody in the chat has been a subscriber.
Yeah, exactly. 99% of people subscribe that are in the chat. So why not just make them subscribe to be in the chat?
I'll figure that out because this spam stuff that can't happen, and we got to get Chad back because Chad's one of our most loyal viewers.
Maybe it's Richard Simmons. He's back.
Chad's probably sitting there like, no. He's like, oh no, help
Hopefully
me.
He watches this back, but can he even watch it back if he's been banned?
That's a good question.
I think so.
He's like stuck in the negative zone.
If someone knows Chad,
free Chad.
If someone seriously knows Chad, can you please let Chad know we didn't ban him? I mean, we did by mistake. So we'll figure it out. But Jim's pretty good with this stuff. Jim will check this out once we end this stream. Okay, subscribe. Now that we've lost Chad, we need you to subscribe.
Rip Chad in the chat.
Yeah, rip Chad in the chat. Again, smash the like button for us. Follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We appreciate your super thanks if you're here on replay. We appreciate those of you that become members here tonight. Click join down below. You get the custom emojis, the new emojis. Shilty, Swarry, Crony, Toddy. So become a member and support our partners. Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance, our title sponsor since day one. If you have an insurance need, Mark can hook you up. He can save you $750 or more. Click the link in the description down below. If you're trying to get healthier, Aura, ORA.organic. Click the link in the description down below. What is this super that just came in? And Underdog Fantasy, again, promo code PADSWRAP, PADSWRAP, for a 100% deposit match. I'm a loyal viewer and you blocked me. Did we?
I didn't block you.
No. How did we block you? You're commenting.
Yeah. Maybe we put you in timeout for a bit.
All right. I don't even know what's happening. For Jim, happy birthday, Aaron. I'm John. This has been the Wrap Up Show.
Peace out. Bye.
Bye-bye.